Alright, it is 10:19 a.m. and I just got a one trade with NWBO. I barely held on to this one. I was just in it for 2 minutes, and there hasn't really been anything too interesting in the OTC markets today, at least as of right now. But I did have an interest with NWBO because of the fact that it was following this downtrending trend line for a while, and it was starting to break past it. But I wasn't necessarily ready to just jump in as soon as it breaks the trend line because I've seen a lot of fake outs happen like that. I like seeing something that has a downtrending trend line and it breaks above it, and then it sells off, and then maybe it then offers a proper opportunity when it drops after briefly breaking past it, and then it doesn't get below it. But hey, it looks like this setup might actually continue the uptrend, but I got out of it because the main reason why I was in was that there was a big 120,000 share bidder that showed up at 94, which made the setup look super nice, super bullish. So I did buy some at 1016, 500 shares at 94.15. So right here at 94.15. So I got in right here again, seeing that big bidder show up at 94 with 120,000 shares. And then I stayed in the setup. It wasn't looking too nice. I thought it was going to continue the uptrend more aggressively. Just, it was just sitting around there. I mean, I guess it did uptrend a little bit, but it wasn't looking too nice. And then when I saw that the big 120 share bidder disappeared, that's like a red flag. That's like a huge red flag. And, I'm not going to be some kind of a simp and be like, oh, it'll come back, it'll save the day and it'll keep up trending. It doesn't have to. That big better could be fake, shows up, pushes the price action, disappears, and then price action goes back down and it sells off. So I didn't want to play around with that. The moment I saw that big bidder disappear, I got out, and that was 2 minutes later at 94.26. So barely anything of a profit. This thing was a scratch, essentially, again at 10:18, 94.26. So I got out right here, and yeah, it could still work out without that big bidder at 94, but that was the reason why I got in. So when that big bidder left, I got out of the trade. And I'll make an update later as to what this does eventually. This thing could also make a head and shoulders shoulder. Well, I guess not really because this is way taller, but yeah, I just don't see anything right now with this one right here, but maybe it can still try to break out. It could totally do that. Nothing interesting with this one. This one had a big sell-off, but again, this is something I would have to trade on Schwab in. I would have to pay commissions, but I guess this one would have been worth it. I would have had to have paid like $15 in commissions, maybe an entry at 8.90 if I'm late, or super late at $9 when it breaks that round number. It actually would have played out for the most part. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll make an update later, but this is all I have for right now. Just one scratch with NWBO. All right, it is 12:25 a.m. and I am here to call it off. Overall, I'm going to be up on a day just 55 pennies with NWBO. It was that setup here that I guess somewhat worked out. It did get as high as 96, but the way it got there wasn't really ideal. Again, I was in it only because of that big bidder that left, so when it was gone, I was also gone. And it did eventually make a move, but not really the best price action, but it did do it. It never broke under VWAP, so that's one thing going forward with the setup, overall working, something beneficial. Nothing really with MMTLP besides this quick dip right here. There isn't anything I want to do with it. I want to see if it can do like an STEK because it looks very similar. It kind of broke past the first run up and really caused that nice short squeeze right there. And ideally, unlike STEK, I hope this one can actually offer a nice panic dip buy if it does downtrend anytime soon. Nothing really interesting with this one. I'll probably remove it. I thought, it could have done something a bit better. It just doesn't really have the best price action. Nothing really here and nothing really here. That's it for today. Not as many setups as yesterday, but still there was that one with NWBO. Again, it didn't really work out that nicely, but there might be some tomorrow. And yeah, that's all I have for I guess not today, but that's all I have for the 15th.